shorter, narrative-led experience that focuses on the things that we really care about. We hope you
hopefully I'm here. I'm a bit late. Well, I was technically watching this the entire time, but I was like, you know what? It's been a while. So I'll just stream for a little bit. Ooh, Melina Jurgens. The main character.
Senua herself has grown since the first Hellblade. She's made peace with her past and is no longer in such fear of her visions and voices.
Her eyes are really, really beautiful.
Companions, she encounters new people along the way, some of which will value her unique perspective, and others.
But yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been here. I'm sure a lot of y'all are just like, where's this guy? Where's New? I'm here. I just need time to myself.
In the game, Senua arrives in 10th century Iceland on the trail of the Vikings who have been enslaving her people. In the story, we're trying to be as faithful to history as we can up to a point, establishing a solid framework and then building more surreal elements on top. Senua,
I have to say though, Avowed so far looks really promising.
The land into chaos, and which in turn has seen the rise of the Droiga, a violent threat that has swept through the settlements that she'll discover.
I never really played Hellblade, so I can't really say much about this game.
New enemies and also new allies who will come to see her unique perspective as a beacon of hope. And she'll discover along with us how this viewpoint can have its advantages.
Senua is a Celtic warrior who experiences psychosis, seeing things that other people don't, hearing voices, and having unique beliefs about the world around her. To bring Senua's perspective of the world to life in a truthful way, we have once again worked closely with Professor Paul Fletcher at the University of Cambridge, as well as people with lived experience of psychosis.
Cool.
What does that mean? It's terrifying.
Players will find themselves traversing beautiful and hostile environments.
I haven't even tested my mic, to be honest.
Patterns and signs that Senua sees in her own unique.
I wonder if my mic sounds good still.
Encounters with enemies that will push Senua to her limits.
I'll probably go back and watch the stream afterward and see. But yeah, I don't think I'll play this game though.
On Saga, we've taken everything to the next level. With a new motion capture space, a bigger stage team, a stunt crew, and a new cast.
We spent a lot of time planning the motion capture shoots, thinking of what events would be good to bring into this fight. Like, how can we make this fight feel different from the previous fight? We have all new combat for the sequel. One of our key goals was the ability
very cinematic.
to tell a story throughout it.
Ooh.
It does feel very different from the first game, but it's very brutal and you're very invested in it. Senua isn't a superhero. She's fighting for survival, and we want the player to feel her struggle in every step of her journey.
So is she like fighting her own demons or something?
They just scraped through, just survived it.
Mel knows Senua better than anyone, better than I do. Her instincts are amazing, and she really doesn't need much help from me. On stage, our main focus is storytelling. So I get to watch the actors and see all the beautiful expressions on their faces. And then I have to wait a little while, and then I get to see that all again, in-game, in costume, on location, everything. It's a great experience, a great process.
Every discipline in the studio is
The game looks beautiful though, for sure. Vast, lush environments.
Pull you into Senua's story. We were lucky enough to do a few reference gathering trips
cool.
in Iceland. You have to be there. The sense of scale, everything is incredible. And you see a scene or you see a small section of the game and you're like, yeah, that works. That's amazing.
I love when these companies take inspiration from real life environments.
And a part of this manifests in the voices she hears. These voices come to life through binaural audio, which provides a good representation of this type of auditory hallucinations. As we focus in immersion, binaural audio is perfect for this because through headphones, you surround yourself in a three-dimensional space.
So you feel as if you're hearing the voices too.
That Senua listens in her head. In this game, Through spatial audio technology and some extra little things within the game, there is music that is binaural. Every single sound has the potential to be binaural, so everything is spatialized around you, and it's a very beautiful experience.
Cool. That they have actually implemented binaural in there. That's cool.
Music is a strange language in the sense that it speaks to our emotions fast and deep. It's not only about quality, it's about personality. So when you listen to Hellblade, you know it's Hellblade. On the music we are working
Man, I have to give credit to the musicians of these games, man.
We feel their craft, their depth, their meaning in the music. It really connects.
Yeah,
and elevated to
good music in a video game is just incredible.
Working with a heavy metal singer, throat singers, and our very own Furies. They sing so beautiful, and we add that binaural touch of music. So this all creates a very immersive and a very special and unique experience.
Our mission here at Ninja Theory is to craft life-changing art with game-changing tech. And that's our aim in Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, is to not only see where Senua goes next, but to deliver something really meaningful for our players.
My hope is that they will really connect to Senua as a character, and even if they can't really relate to what she's going through, maybe they know someone that relates to that character and they can then understand that person better.
True.
Well, I don't want to sound cheesy, but in a way I'm Senua, right? She exists and doesn't. It exists through all of our work, through every ninja. So we all are Senua, and we are creating this character that grows and grows and grows and grows and keep growing and keep changing. So that makes it real.
I'm so proud of the love, care, and passion.
Yeah, you can see there's so much love in this team.
Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Our hope is to not only create.
You can see it in the vision they have.
But to craft an experience that leaves you thinking and feeling. From our combat gameplay through to our action set pieces, from our cinematic scenes to our puzzle solving, everything is crafted in service of Senua's journey. A journey that you can embark on May 21st.
Okay, cool. So now they've given us a release. Sick. May 21st. So just before summer. That's actually a good time period. You get to enjoy it before you go outside in the heat. What's next now? So yeah, Avowed is coming in fall, which is nice. Which is next? Unknown user? Oh, here we go. Is this a surprise? Square Enix? Oh, damn. Wait, is this Legend of Mana again? Or is this an exclusive? Alright, show me what Square Enix has. Japan. Home. I'm home.
Greetings, Xbox players. My name is Masaru Oyamada, producer
Oh, it is
for
Mana.
Mana series here at Square Enix.
I knew it was Mana.
Visions of Mana の情報を Xbox users
Oh, Visions of Mana. Okay, I knew it was the Mana series. The moment I saw the artwork, I'm like, this has to be Mana.
コンソールゲームとしては約17年ぶりとなる聖剣伝説シリーズの完全新作。聖剣伝説シリーズは1991年にファイナルファンタジー外伝として誕生して以降、
Secret of Mana. Dude, I want to go back and play that game.
愛をテーマに個性豊かなキャラクターたち。
Trials of Mana. Yeah. Great game.
武器の特性を生かして戦うアクション
I gotta play all of these, man. Secret of Mana was great, though.
発売され長らく愛されてきました。本作は30年以上の歴史あるシリーズの最
The Mana series is honestly slept on. People are so obsessed with Final Fantasy, but the Mana franchise is actually one of the better RPGs, I feel. It's a very colorful, vibrant world. The characters are great. I gotta go back and play the classics. Oh, this looks good too. Looks like you can do, so it's real-time combat, so you can probably do like auto combos. Well, not auto combos, but like custom combos.
聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナの内容を紹介していきたいと思います。
Hello, I am Koichi from Grebs. I am so happy to introduce the newest game in the Mana series to Xbox players. 初期の頃からシリーズ作品に登場しているモンスターたちは私が考案したものですが、
His designs have always been
中に
great.
は小学生の頃すでにイメージができていたものもあります。今作では初めはドット絵からスタートしたモンスターたちをどのような形で最新化して
Yeah, this is the one thing I've always loved about the Mana series. The enemies are always unique, childlike, but still providing like a, you know, a very adventurous feel to it.
聖剣伝説ファイナルファンタジー外伝を作っていた頃から自分の頭の中ではモンスターたちは立体的に生き生きと動いてこれまで自分が携わった
Like this game would really feel like it's for everyone. It has a childlike look to it, but it really is a great experience. Man, I gotta play the Mana series again. Just seeing this, it's just like fantasy come back to life. I've always liked like Eastern fantasy games I like, and of course Japanese fantasy I like too. So this is like a perfect blend. Sci-fi fantasy and then like Eastern fantasy.
仲間たちがいましたが、今作には広大なフィールド探検に欠かせない新たな仲間が登場します。
Oh, that's so cool.
猛スピードで駆け回ってくれるピックル。ピックルも石井さんが新たに考案してくださっています。
新たな仲間を考えるにあたっては、今作のマスコットキャラクターになるくらい可愛い動物にしたいという漠然とした思いがありました。その上で、ヨークシャテリアの毛並み。見た目はアルマジルによく似た
Armadillo, yeah.
古代エジプト神のアヌビスの子供といった
Yeah, I can definitely see the Anubis inspiration.
それぞれの特徴を取り入れながらラフデザインを書き起こしました。デザイナーにもアイデアを出してもらいながら足の長さや丸まった時のイメージなどゲームの中での見え方も考えながら調整を重ねていきピックルは誕生しました。
Pikkuru. Yo, what's up, Moise?
もう一つの挑戦は楽曲面です。過去、
How are you, brother?
コンポーザーが携わられた楽曲の雰囲気が感じられつつも、最新作として素晴らしい新たな楽曲が生まれました。
Oh man, the BGM is always amazing. The Mana series has been just magnetic, dude.
全100曲という大ボリュームの制作に挑んでくれました。
Just so majestic.
新たな試みとしてフィールドの探索からバトルまでをシームレスに体験できるよう
I'm doing pretty good.
インタラクティブミュージックを導入しており
It's been nice to take a good break and just you know,
バトルに入った瞬間アレンジが切り替わる様を実際
realign myself with you know, the spiritual side of things, you know? I think for the longest time I've just been so caught up in everything in the world and I just needed some time to disconnect and reconnect with myself pretty much.
今作はアクション RPG 聖剣伝説のアクション部分が強化されています。空中でのアクション
This game for sure I'm looking forward to though.
武器での攻撃だけ
I think this is going to be a game I play all the way through to the end.
そして本作ならではの
Yeah, and I've always enjoyed the Mana
聖剣伝
series.
説シリーズではおなじみの精霊たちがいますが、その力を宿した武器を使うとバトルを手助けしてくれるようになります。
Yeah, that's most of it. I wasn't really very happy with the content I was making.
その効果
I felt like it was
伝説の世界らしい不思議な力で
felt like it was very artificial, at least coming from my heart. It didn't really feel like it was coming from a place of joy. It felt like it was more like,
モンスターや
I guess,
注目してほしいので
like a fear.
聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナーは
You know, like, oh, if I don't make content, then I'm gonna fall behind, or
作品になるよ
if I don't have this content out by next week, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna screw me
う
over.
ていますのでぜひ
And
発売日を楽しみ
yeah, it just didn't feel authentic.
私自身もプレイするの
It felt more like I was kind of forcing myself to make the content rather than
として初
having
めて
that natural joy that I've always had to make
聖
content.
剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナーは今後も様々な情報をお届けしていきますので、
So as far as content,
この夏
I want to just go back to like the things that really just bring me a lot of joy, like the single player experiences, the fantasy stuff, the sci-fi stuff, the sci-fi fantasy combination. Ooh, this is summer? That's good. Yeah, just a lot of it had to do, you know, going back to the retro games too, because I really love retro games a lot, and I want to be able to, you know, talk about those things as well. So, nah, again, yeah, it didn't feel like me, you know. It didn't feel like, I gave it a try, so I can't really discredit the game. It definitely had some spunk to it, but it just didn't feel authentic to me, you know. Like, I played it for a while, and then after I'm just like, this doesn't really align with me, you know.
In a genre we all love. Ara History Untold is the game we've dreamt of making.
Ara is an homage.
So that's why I just decided to take a long break to really like ask myself, like, what do I really love? You know, what made me love video games? You know, that's the question I have to ask myself. What made me love games? And so I uninstalled a lot of games, actually. So no more gacha games. I stopped playing all the gacha stuff. No more competitive stuff. Maybe there's like there's an exception. Like, I play Hearthstone, but Hearthstone is not like, I don't see that as a competitive game. I see it more as like a creative game, because I can just create and make my own decks, which is always fun.
Hi, Dan. That's Dan. We started in his basement. It's been an amazing process.
But yeah, no more gacha stuff. I couldn't deal with the gacha anymore. I was getting really tired of it. The fact that there are so many games that are just live service, but they take so much of your money and time, and that time I felt like I was wasting. And I just wanted an experience that felt authentic. You know?
With outcomes that encourage exploration and give players the power to experiment.
Like, I want to jump into a game where I don't have to worry about rolling for a character. I want all the characters to be there, you know. I don't want to have to be this RNG, oh, if I get this character, good, if I don't, it sucks. And it's like, I don't like that feeling. I want to be able to jump into a game where everything's there and I can just, you know, pick the character I want, or even create the character I like. So, yeah, no more Genshin, no more Star Rail. I tried this game called Disney Speedstorm. It was like a Mario Kart, you know, a Mario Kart game with Disney characters. But that game also kind of annoyed me because the rank system is garbage. The gacha system is greedy. It's basically a pay-to-win game. And, yeah. So again, I just did a lot of questioning. And so it made me realize, and really, like, made me realize that we take so many things for granted when it comes to paying for games. But also at the same time, like, it made me realize that not all free-to-play games are good. They might look good, but their greed and gacha schemes are not the best.
The player's score that proves their worth as a leader.
The prestige system gives players the chance to decide what kind of leader they want to be. Do they want to pursue?
I just want pure gaming experience, you know?
Military might. Scientific advancement. The choice is theirs. In Ara, there are no set victory conditions. Players get to decide what is most important to them and focus and prioritize on.
They shouldn't play boring games. I mean, that's subjective though, right?
When I play Ara, I like to build triumphs.
That's kind of subjective, because boring can be fun for someone else, and fun can be boring for other people. But for me, yeah, I mean, I got bored. Like, I just did not have any fun with these games anymore. It felt more like a cash grab.
Another aspect of Ara that I'm personally excited about is our crafting system.
And yeah, of course, yeah, I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant, yeah. But yeah, I just did not want to dive into those games anymore. It, like you said, it definitely felt boring. It felt like there was no life in the game. It felt more like the whole premise of those games was just, you know, RNG, roll for characters, gacha, gambling, and that was like not fun to me. Like, I wanted to jump into a world where, you know, there's vast openness and There's action, there's creativity. Like I was itching to play Destiny 2 for a long time, but the game is kind of already like done. And I don't want to jump into the game with all that complexity, so I was like, you know what, if there's another Destiny 2 game that comes out later on, I'll probably jump into it right away. Because Destiny 2 had like a really great story, and gameplay was great.
To predict and strategically plan for a variety of scenarios in the moment. This system makes Aura just feel more real.
Like a gaming genre nomad. I just love video games, man. I just love games, but I know for sure that sci-fi fantasy is my main core foundation. That's really where my heart is always, is sci-fi fantasy.
Picking what to include. For Aura, we wanted to offer a fresh perspective, so we looked at cultures and societies throughout.
So yeah, I'm just like within that genre, I'm like trying to find the game that really speaks to me. Within that sci-fi fantasy genre, I'm like, okay, what games like really stand out? Like it's making me more picky. But I guess that's a good thing, because I don't want to just play anything. I want to make sure that I gotta find something that really like hits.
We know players will find leaders that they will want to play, and even a few that may surprise them with how fun.
Yeah, Outer Worlds kind of grew boring after a while, to be honest. I played and I gave it a shot, but yeah, after a while it kind of started to grow boring. Like I guess that type of RPG wasn't really for me. Like I like the action RPGs. I like a game where there's a lot of action, a lot of commitment. Starfield kind of felt similar, where it wasn't, I mean, there was action, but the AI in Starfield just felt like lifeless.
In our first iteration, it was maybe a little bit too aggressive or disruptive. We knew we should probably make a change when one of our insiders made a forum post that was
like I forced myself to play Outer Worlds, but then I was like, man, I just can't force myself anymore. It's just not fun. Like I'll give you the best example. The best example of a game that was amazing to me from start to finish was Lies of P. That was my favorite game of the year last year. I went back, I played it several, like time and time again. I never grew bored of the gameplay. The action was there, the music was there. That's the type of game that I love. Where there's a challenge, where there's depth, where there's story.
Thank you for joining us today. We can't wait for you to play.
I feel so bad because I talked through the entire Oxide studio presentation. It's okay though. But yeah, like you said, never again. If I get bored of something, I just abandon it. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm just abandoning every single thing. I'm not gonna give myself any reason to play if it's boring. And yeah, RE4 Remake is definitely a very, very good game. And I can see why. I can definitely see why. Fantastic game. I mean, even the OG game is like amazing.
We are really excited to finally be able to share our work on Indiana Jones. Since the first film came out, Indiana Jones has...
Okay, this game might have my attention, just because I've always been a fan of Indiana Jones.
One of the most iconic franchises in pop culture. In this game, you aren't just playing as Indy, you are Indiana Jones. You will see through his eyes and experience a journey that we hope lives up to the...
Hopefully this game has promise. What did you like most about RE4 Remake? Was it just like the story, the action, everything?
Jones game forever.
Hey, Todd.
For what it would be like and the story, what Indy was going after, what period of his life it was in, what kind of arc he was going to have. And as the years went on, I thought, who would be like the best studio in the world to make this? And it was my friends at Machine Games.
I hope this game pops off.
Film on the game and being, a little bit nervous because, look, it's, Indiana Jones, and their response was just overwhelmingly positive, and just that excitement has bled through the whole project, and they have just been so trusting and supportive of everything that we want to do with the game. It's been a long time. I've
Variants, village, island, a castle. Yeah, totally. I totally agree. The variance in levels and the design of each level really felt like you were playing a different game every time. Like you weren't just immersed in one part of the world. You had different worlds connected.
While you were playing your pointless game, I was playing you.
Let me just turn it up a little bit.
You're wondering if maybe you should have built yourself a life of meaning.
Tell me they have Harrison Jones and his likeness in the game. They have to. Come on, show me his face. Show me Harrison Jones. There he is. I hope this game's an action RPG, because then I would. Oh, I mean, it's Lucasfilm too. I have to support this game.
Myths. History. Just different ways to interpret the past.
Wait, is it Harrison Jones voicing him too? Come on, they have to.
Thousands of years of humanity's thoughts and beliefs.
Yeah, it does sound like Harrison Jones.
Just waiting to be found.
You can't just run away from your problems, Indiana.
Well, I say Harrison Jones. I meant Harrison Ford. I just think of Indiana Jones and then Harrison Ford. It's Harrison Jones.
Throughout history, mankind has built sites of great spiritual significance. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you could
Please make this game fun.
circle.
Oh man, this looks good. A whip. Ooh.
I've had run-ins with these guys before. Trust me.
Dude, the fact that you have a whip and a gun.
Okay then, let's see if you can keep up.
What do you mean if I could keep up?
The young Harrison, man. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so you have air combat.
Patron of the fallen angels.
Okay, this game looks like it has some promise.
The Great Circle.
Oh man.
You have any idea how old that was?
When does it come out? This year? I'd be happy if...
Jones
Okay, they're still
such
talking.
An iconic character, and he means so much to so many people. Everyone here at the
I mean,
studio
this is
has
my
their own
childhood too,
stories
Indiana
and
Jones.
most of us grew up with his adventures and have been
Yeah,
fans of the movies
exactly.
and the character for years.
I've been a fan of Indiana Jones since I was little.
He's a charismatic,
And of course, I'm a huge fan of Harrison Ford. One of my favorite actors, period.
synonymous with adventure.
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience. Our game is all about putting you in
Yeah, like you said, Moise, RE4 Remake was a great game for all that it provided. The gameplay, the variance. And that's the type of game I like. I like games with variance. That's why I got bored so fast of Outer Worlds and Starfield at times. Because it just lacked that variance at times.
each action feel like your own.
Whether it's cracking your whip,
I liked Air Force One. I liked The Fugitive.
knuckles go bloody in a fist
I think it was Patriot Games, another one that I liked.
much more intense in first person. But we still want
But
you to
I
have
really
those
love The
moments.
Fugitive.
Seeing his
One of my
iconic
favorites for
silhouette,
Harrison Ford. Fugitive, Air Force One.
things like cutscenes and environmental traversal. We pull
I
the
used to
camera
watch
back
those two movies like a lot. I think I watched The Fugitive like, I don't know, more than 10 times.
set between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade.
When our game begins, Indiana is working at Marshall College. He wakes up in the middle of the night to the
I think it's one of his greater classic films. He played such a great role in The Fugitive.
The mysterious giant of a man makes off with what seems to be a historically insignificant artifact, sparking Indiana's curiosity.
Who the hell are you?
Following the trail, Indiana heads
Of course,
to
Blade
Vatican
Runner
to
2, I
learn
recommend
what
that.
this particular relic
Also one of
was.
Harrison Ford's best performances. Those are my top three. I'd say Fugitive, Air Force One, and Blade Runner. Those are like my favorites for Harrison Ford, outside of Indy and Star Wars.
On next plane to Rome. Stop. Need help. Stop. Meet me in Vatican. Stop. Indy.
Like, I can go back and watch Blade Runner so many times.
That had to be one of our guiding principles when we were thinking about the type of game we were making. It wouldn't be Indy if he wasn't using his wits to get through the situation.
There's got to be puzzle elements in this game.
Jones experience we can make is the one that makes you think first.
Yeah, I knew it. There has to be puzzles. This is Indiana Jones. There has to
There will
be.
be some obstacles that will be more easily overcome with the revolver or a gun taken from a disarmed guard. But I think most of the time you'll have more fun and, to be honest, a more genuine indie experience by finding more clever ways to solve a problem.
We always want to be offering more solutions, whether it's trying a different path through the environment to get around enemies.
Oh, you got some stealth?
Observing enemy patrols and using them to your advantage.
Oh, I love that. So you got some stealth features in the game.
It's an amazing global adventure with action propelling you through your journey.
We have these really diverse environments for you to explore. Indy's journey will take him to the forgotten temples of Sukhothai,
I love the concept art.
the snow-peaked Himalayas, and beyond.
We look carefully at each location and the time period the game is set in, and we're trying to make it as authentic and accurate as possible.
We love creating rich, vibrant worlds, and in this game, we also had the goal of making it feel.
I mean, with Todd Howard behind this game, I do have a positive outlook on it.
One of the biggest ways to do that is
Like, Todd has always had a good vision. Oh, the music, yes. You've got to give me the music. Yes, John Williams, baby. I was about to say his name too.
a composer who's been able to capture Williams' essence with his score for The Great Circle.
John Williams is arguably one of the greatest composers of all time. Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Cinematics. We're very physical with
Amazing.
our production style. We use a lot of stunt actors. Things like this help us bridge the gap between making a game and making a movie.
And of course, our characters do a lot to help bring the world to life as well. Next to Indy, Gina is our other main protagonist. Where Indy is pursuing answers just for the sake of curiosity, Gina has a personal stake in getting to the
I love that 70s style. That 70s look.
Investigative reporter who has a lot riding on this adventure. She's been tracking a lead.
But for real, I'm honestly just hoping this year will be a great year for the games that come out, man. I don't want to be bored anymore.
And they'll need each other in order to get to the bottom of this mystery.
I'll just let life guide me this year. I think last year I was really just trying to desperately find something to play. And I think that kind of took away from my love for video games.
He's this intensely psychological man. He's obsessed.
This time I'm just gonna let life guide me.
Manipulating it.
And just like you said, if something just does not click with me, I'm not gonna force myself to do it. I'm not gonna make content anymore just for the sake of making content. So if it takes me a while to make a video, I'd rather take the time than to rush. I don't think it was me wanting to play the trendy games. I think it was like I had an interest in the game initially, but then it just never clicked as I dived into it.
Those moments where he finds himself in the action.
Because if I wanted to play the trendy games, I'd play like, I don't know, every new game that dropped. But I really wanted to play the games that really, like, I enjoyed, or at least I had an interest in. Like, Liza P was a game I really wanted to play, and I was so glad I played it. Because that's, again, that's like my all-time favorite, my all-time favorite Souls game. Hey, what's up, Gameplay Boy? How are you, man?
We want it integrated into every aspect.
Hope you're doing well.
You can use it as a traversal tool to make your way around the environment.
Yeah, no, you're totally right, Moise. You're totally right, dude. I did not want to be fake anymore. And I think that's what was causing me a lot of grief
from Indie's whip.
was I felt like I had to try and like make content for something, but deep down I was like, this doesn't really feel right to me, you know?
So important to Indiana Jones.
So it wasn't so much the trendy stuff. It was like, man, like I gave this game a try. Like, you know, I gave Lego Fortnite a try. I gave Rocket Racing a try, but they just didn't really click. You know, like I feel like I've grown out of that type of stuff. Even with like Street Fighter, is the same thing. I was like, I'm just kind of getting tired of this competition. I wanna have games where I can just play with you guys and jump into a world together and play, like an extraction shooter or something. That's why I was like, man, Destiny would be so cool to play, but it's just too late for me to jump into Destiny 2. It's just far too deep in the story. The game's coming to an end anyway. So I was like, you know what? If there's like a new game that plays similarly to Destiny 2, I will jump in.
Machine Games is known for creating these roller coaster experiences.
And yeah, I played Elden Ring as well, and I kind of dropped it as well. And then Ragnarok, yeah, I kind of felt the same way with Ragnarok. I just kind of dropped it when I played it. But for Street Fighter, it was just because I've been playing fighting games literally for like literally 20 years. Like 2 decades of my life I gave to fighting games. And I was like, you know what? I'm just, they don't feel the same anymore.
I'm also very excited to announce that Indiana Jones and the
Same thing with shooters, or at least not shooters. Like, I don't mind shooters.
wait to share more soon.
Why is Todd back there? Like, shooters aren't bad, but yeah, I just didn't care to compete anymore. Like, I don't want to compete for things. I just want to enjoy my experience, and I want to create things that are fun. Like, if there's a leaderboard, sure, I don't mind that. Which is why I don't mind playing Hearthstone every now and then, because it's kind of fun to just build a deck and just take it up and see how it fares against others. But yeah, as far as like fighting games and whatever, I just don't care. What's this? Is it done? Oh, I guess it's done. But you're totally right though. I shouldn't feel bad for letting something go, because like you were saying before, it's kind of like being a nomad, right? Like, you're on this endless journey to find something that you really love, that really kind of sticks to you. And I just haven't had that experience yet. The only thing that really has my experience, or really kind of caught that feeling of being in that moment, was again Lies of P and just retro games. Like, I've really been into retro games recently, because I feel like it's going back to what I really love about games. Like, there was no pay to win back then. There were no gachas back then. Like, video games, retro games just felt like games. Like, that's what I loved as a kid. You know, going to the rental store, you know, going to Blockbuster and just, you know, grabbing that game and just having a full immersive experience from start to finish. That's what I miss. Yeah, like you said, it just comes in waves, and I think last year was a lesson for me to learn that, you know, I made a lot of decisions, and a lot of those decisions weren't really in alignment with what I really wanted. It was more like fear, right? Like I said, it was a fear of, oh man, if I don't make content, I'm gonna fall behind, I'm gonna lag behind. But it wasn't really anything that, it didn't really feel good to me in that sense. And I don't like that feeling anymore. I don't want to have to feel as if my life is drawn to fear of making content. What is this? Oh, is this the upcoming reveal for Elder Scrolls? I'll keep this on for now. I'll talk for now, since it has been a while. I don't want to make this stream too long. I just wanted to kind of come back, because it, you know, it has been a minute. And I wanted to update you and everyone else who stops by. Like, I'm still good, but I just needed time to really just ask myself completely, like, what do I really love? What brings me joy? And real genuine joy, not that fake joy that you see so many creators do nowadays. Now, again, you know, I loved video games and I enjoyed making the content. So it's not like the content I made was like fake in that sense. Like I had a genuine interest in wanting to help other people in my content. Like, you know, like I make all those guides, you know, 3 reasons why you're doing this, or 3 reasons why you shouldn't do that. I really love that stuff. Like, I really do love that type of content because I've always enjoyed making guides and helping players to learn about specific things and doing reviews of certain things. That's always been my interest. But I guess it's just the games themselves did not align with that same philosophy that I wanted to capture. I think that's what was missing. Like, that's the missing piece of the puzzle. Like, I have all the ideas, like the 3 Reasons Why series I think is one of my best. Like, I look back at my Street Fighter content, for example, and I'm like, wow, why is my Manon video still popping off? Like, it's crazy. I look back at let me see this. Like, if I go to that video right now, like, I'm still getting people subbing to my channel, which is crazy. And I stopped making content for Street Fighter like months back. But the fact that my Manon video is still getting views, like, it's at 7K. Like, that's my best video that I made on this channel. I never expected that. But this is the thing, like, I love making guides like this to showcase characters and to talk about different elements of the game. You have a habit that needs to be removed because it's costing you games. It's costing like, this is why trades that you can be utilized. I love making content. It's just I want to help people, you know? And so when you're impatient, you become like, if I can find a game that just allows me to do the very same thing I do here, but not competing, no gacha, but just a genuine experience where I'm like, oh, 3 reasons why you should use this weapon in this game, or 3 reasons, or 3 ways to beat this boss, or something. Like, those are the things I like. Or if I can review like hardware, 3 reasons why you should buy the Steam Deck OLED in 2024. Like, those are the things I want to talk about. Especially with Manon. But as far as like competitive stuff, man, I just don't want to do that anymore. I'm just tired of competing. It just drains so much of my energy. It's unnecessary anxiety and tension. It's like, nah, I don't really care for that. But yeah, I love making content. It's just that I just felt so stuck. And like I said, I felt like I was making content purely out of fear. The fear of falling behind. The fear of like, oh man, if I don't make this content this week, I'm not gonna, you know, find success in my content, and that feeling is what bothered me, because I should never feel that way. I should always feel like if I don't want to make content, I don't have to, right? And if something really touches my heart, I'll make it. And that's the one thing I had to kind of ask myself, like, I don't want to make content for the sake of making it because I'm scared of losing viewers or losing subs. I want to make content because it genuinely excites me, and it, you know, I love the content itself. So even if I take an extra week to make it, I'd rather take that extra week because I want to prepare it and I want to make sure it's great and that I love doing it, versus, oh yeah, well, oh man, you know, I have the schedule, I gotta follow it. It's like, no, don't do that to yourself. Like, I felt like I was trying to force myself to follow this schedule, and it just wasn't working. Then number 1, and that is poor meter management. And this is why I didn't want to stream either for a while, because I'm just like, I didn't want to stream the games. You know, I had no motivation to play these games because, yeah, like you said, they're just boring. They lacked any sort of life to them, at least to me. Because most of your combos utilize drive rush a lot. And so if you're oftentimes, like, you can tell, like, when I really love something, I'll talk about it for a long time. You've probably noticed that, right? Like, when I talk about something really, really deeply, like Liza P, you know, like you can tell like I'm really into that game and I just love the game. So if there's like other games out there that are coming out that are just like Liza P, or that really spark that drive for me to play like Liza P, then that's how I know the game really speaks to me. Because Liza P spoke to me like unlike any other game.
Approaching an enemy, you have to always be thinking very carefully and strategically about
But,
how you're going to utilize your combo,
yeah,
why
this-
you're using it, and when to use it.
Again, I'm surprised that this video is still popping off, man. It's crazy. 7.2K and people are still watching it. But I guess I've left a mark, right? I've left an impact, which is, I guess, what I wanted to do. But as far as the rest is concerned, I'm done with this. I'm kind of done with all this stuff. I don't care for the esports stuff. I don't care for any of that. Just don't really care. What the? I just press play now. There you go. Yeah, I'm just hoping that there's a period where there's no more waves. Instead of me like coming and going, I want to be able to ride that wave for as long as I possibly can, because it's a really great experience that I love, and that's what I want. You know, I want there to be a wave that I can just ride for as long as I want, and that wave will never grow tiring, never grow boring. And the only thing I can think about that will do that is like retro games. Going back to my childhood, playing those games that I grew up with, rediscovering games that I never had a chance to play. And whenever I think about that, I always feel happy. But I just want a handheld. Like I love handheld a lot. So I've been watching a lot of handheld reviews, and yeah, we'll see what happens though. I'm not going to say too much about anything because right now I'm just in that space where I'm still trying to figure things out. Oh yeah, what did I want to do? I want to put some music on. Hold on. Where is that? Where's that drum and bass thing that I had yesterday? Actually, I'll just put this on. Some relaxing PS2 music. Yeah, let's go all the way to the beginning again. This was a really, really good relaxing music video. There we go. So yeah, this is just more or less just me talking right now, kind of letting everyone know what's going on. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back for sure. When I'll be back completely and fully, that I'll leave up to God, right? I don't know when I'll be back as far as full commitment, but I'm not gonna rush. I have to kind of let go of that fear in me, because like I said, last year was just, I was so driven by it. I was so selfishly caught up in wanting to seek that success that I feel like I've always desired, but I wasn't doing it the right way. I was letting fear guide my motive rather than letting the love that I have for games guide me, and that was something I had to learn the hard way, because it just brought more stress and misery in my life, and I didn't realize it until like much later, looking back at it. It's just like torture. Like, I probably should have recognized it earlier, but again, a part of me was like, oh, but if I just don't do it, if I don't do something, you know, it's gonna affect me. But I guess I realized that it's better to just do nothing sometimes than to just do something for the sake of filling that void. And it's like, I'd rather just have nothing there than to have this space filled with junk. I'd rather just clean up all that junk and not have it be there at all. So yeah, no more gacha stuff, man. I'm just done with it. No more fighting games, no more competitive stuff. Racing games, I if I had the opportunity, I would play Gran Turismo though. It's one of like the rare games I'd play. Only because I've always loved Gran Turismo, but I don't have a PS5, so, and I don't have a steering wheel. But if I had the opportunity, I would play Gran Turismo. But that's always been a fun game for me. Yeah, like I look at Game Pass, for example, there's just nothing on Game Pass that interests me recently. Like just nothing. Like it feels like I'm completely, it's almost like I'm being renewed, you know? It's hard to explain, but like I feel like I'm being completely wiped of all of my old, I don't want to say habits, but like a lot of the interest that I used to find interesting don't interest me anymore. So I feel like there's just like a cleansing happening. And the fact that that's happening, I feel like there's nothing. Like I feel empty in that sense. Because you the things that used to bring you joy don't bring you joy. Like you said, like the waves, right? They come and go. So I'm at this point now where I'm like, okay, well, that wave has come and gone. And now I'm at this point where there's like nothing that interests me. Outside of, like I said, the retro stuff does. Like there's like a little flame in me that's like, you know, go back to playing those old games, man. Like those games that used to bring you joy as a kid. I watch all these retro games and I'm like, man, like there's such a big library of games that I never had a chance to play growing up. Like a lot of the PS1 games, the PS1 era, I never had a chance to play a lot of those RPGs growing up. I was mostly N64 back then. So I was like, man, I would love to play PS1. And just rekindle my childhood. And then, of course, PS2 I loved. And there are a lot of games on the PS2 that I never had a chance to go back and play. So I want to play PS2 again. I want to play PSP. Because a lot of the games that I grew up with was like N64, Genesis, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy, of course, first. But then I look back and I'm like, man, a lot of the times I spent playing games came from like handhelds. Like the first ever video game I played was Super Mario Land for a Game Boy. And that the Game Boy was like the first ever, I guess you can say, game that I actually owned. And I look back and I'm like, a lot of the fun that I had as a kid was actually playing the Game Boy. Playing it under my sheets, or bringing the Game Boy to school, playing it in class, going on field trips and bringing it with me. You know, playing the Game Boy Color with my friends, playing Pokemon with my friends. And then of course when the PS Vita dropped, I was obsessed with the PS Vita. Like I loved the Vita so much, I would actually make YouTube videos with my Vita, which is crazy. A lot of my old YouTube content from like 10, 12 years ago all came from my Vita. And then the PSP I played for a while with my friends. A lot of handhelds really just stood out to me. The DS, of course, I was a huge fan of the DS growing up. So I've always been like a handheld lover. I've always enjoyed playing handhelds. So recently I've just been really interested in playing handhelds again. So I want to be able to go outside and travel and play games and travel, you know, at the same time. Not that playing on PC is bad, because I think even looking back at my life too, I actually grew up more playing PC. I mean, I guess it's a little bit of everything, but I played a lot of PC growing up. Which is why I guess nowadays it feels natural to me to just be in my room playing PC, because I grew up doing the same thing. A lot of my life was just PC gaming, with like a splash of console in there with N64 and PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360, Dreamcast. But yeah, hopefully, is this gonna happen right now or what? 60 seconds. Okay, I'll have to pause this. But yeah, like I said, we'll see what happens, man. This year is gonna be a year where it's just about renewing myself. I'm not gonna rush. I'm not gonna drop content, you know, for the sake of doing it. I want to really think carefully and just let life flow through me. And whatever brings me true joy, I'll make it. Otherwise, I'm not going to make videos. I'm not going to make content unless it really, really just inspires me. Unless that voice in me calls to me and says, make that content. Not out of fear, but out of a genuine love for whatever it is that I want to play. So until that happens, yeah, this year is just going to be a year where I just take things slow. That's all. Take things slow, and we'll see where life takes me. Just kind of surrender to life. And let life guide me where it knows best, rather than trying to guide life out of fear and selfishness, and that's not really helping me. Never helped me at all. This got me nowhere. So I'll just I'll let life take its course, and I'm sure that that course will realign me with the very things that I really enjoy as a gamer. Because I love video games. So many games out there nowadays are just all about money and greed and, you know, competing for all this unnecessary stuff, and it's time wasting. It's exhausting. Just give me a great game. That's all I want. That's all I ask. Just give me a great game that just allows me to be immersed and really, really brings out that child in me. No paywalls, none of this garbage. Just give me a game where I can just log in, play, and if I want to buy something, be it a cosmetic, sure. That's totally fine. Like money spent on something you actually want to spend it on is nice. Like a cosmetic or, you know, something like that. But this pay to win, this gacha stuff, this RNG, I don't care for that, man. Just don't care. It just tires me out. Is this gonna start? It says 60 seconds. It says 6 a.m. They're late. Hold on, let me refresh this. Are they late? Oh, never mind. Well, that looks nice. I may not even watch this whole thing, because this is Elder Scrolls, so I just wanted to kill time. But anyway, maybe I'll call it here. I don't know what else to say. As far as what I've already said, I think I've already kind of made my point very clear. So, yeah, I think I'll call it at that, because I'm not going to really watch this Elder Scrolls stuff. I've tried playing this game too, and yeah, just this game didn't really...
It certainly looks like you enjoyed that food, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us
Yeah.
today. I hope that the meals that we were able to
But anyway, thanks Moise for stopping by, man. Again, it's going to be a time period for me to grow. It's going to be a period of me to realign myself, and like I said, just let life guide me, and wherever you know, whatever the future has in store, I'm sure it'll be a great one for me. But for now, I'm going to chill out. I'm going to try and just, you know, be chill, and again, let my heart realign with what's best. And when I see you, I'll see you. I'll talk to you guys, of course, on Discord and what have you. But until then, thank you all, folks. Thank you all for being here. As always, you know, stay strong, keep fighting, and may the Force be with you all, always. See you guys again soon. There's no schedule right now, so don't expect me to be coming back next Tuesday through Thursday or whatever. No. Just right now, I'm in a position to just chill. And when you see me, you see me. And, yeah. I'll let you folks know until then. Alright? Much love. Take care, Moise. Take care, Gameplay Boy. And everyone else who's just chilling. Take care. Enjoy 2024. And I'll see ya when I see ya.